to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. My name is Reighn. For those that don't know me, I am a luxury fashion connoisseur. That's my thing, that's my lane. Here on this channel I share a little bit of luxury content in terms of some of the things that I buy, and today is actually our first ever bag review. So I thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button as well as press the subscribe. I am going to make it my mission to upload a video every week, specifically on Sundays, so that you guys have something to look forward to. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So alrighty, we're gonna get right into it. Now, if you guys watched a couple of videos back, I have done a luxury haul for you all. I'm gonna link that in the cards as well as down below in the description box. In that video, I had gone in and shared a few pieces that I had picked up while I was on my little sabbatical from YouTube and not really uploading too many videos, but I was sharing with you guys pretty much all of the luxury purchases that I was making at the time. And one of the things that I shared in that video was my new bag, which is my Louis Vuitton OnTheGo Tote. She's new, but she's not like new because I've actually had this probably since about maybe the end of March going into April. But with that video in mind, one of the things that I wanted to come in and share with you all was a little bit of a bag review, and then we're going to call this like the competition of the totes, because when I was going in to shop for totes, I ended up with this one, but I considered everything. So I wanted to kind of come in and share like my little tips, not really tips, but just kind of share my perspective on what I was feeling and why I made the decision to purchase this tote. We're going to start with the review of this tote. I'm going to kind of give you all of the specs and the details and the purchase process to this bag, and then I'm going to probably compare it. I'm gonna say maybe off the top of my head maybe 3 or 4 totes, not too many because there's really not much that's in this category, but pretty much we're just going to start here and then we'll work our way into all of the other bags. Okay, alrighty, perfect. So I am going to have to grab my phone. I do apologize because I write everything down so that I don't forget. Okay, so this is the Louis Vuitton OnTheGo tote, and I have this tote in the GM size. So just to kind of go through the specs, as you can see, there is the reverse monogram on one side, and then there is this monogram on the other. This is considered to be the giant monogram that you are experiencing here, and then of course this is the classic monogram on this side, and then I'm sorry, this is the inverted monogram on this side, and then this is the classic on the other side. It also has some good detailing as well. So on the side with the giant, that's kind of the reverse, you can see that it has the classic monogram here, and then on the giant monogram that's in the kind of classic brown and then tan, it has the other inverted. So I think that that's a really good detail. I kind of like that a lot. At the top of the bag, it has a hook, which is common. We see this all the time in the Neverfull, and so I have mine hooked. It's been sitting in the closet, so I just have it hooked so that it'll stay perfect. And even down to the little details, the hook itself is gold, and then like I said, on the perspective sides it has the opposite. So it has the brown on this side, and this is the kind of tan color, and then it has the brown, and then on the other side it's in inverted, and then it has the brown here. So with all of that being said, this is the inside of the bag. The last time that I did the video, I wasn't able to show you guys the inside, so it's pretty standard. It has 2 straps here, and like I mentioned in that video, again, same thing. Brown side has the classic monogram. I keep this is really going to be a little bit of a tongue tie, but you guys know what I'm trying to say because it's all brown, but the reverse print has the classic monogram, the classic print has the reverse monogram, and so I think that that's really kind of a cool detail. In addition, it has a very large pocket right here, and then it has 2 slits, right? So, and then inside of this pocket I have my, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't really know. And then I just have a perfume sample from the store because I haven't been in this bag in a while, but I guess this is just a little booklet. I don't remember getting this, so this could honestly be to something else, so who knows. But like I said, it's just red on the inside, and this material is like, it's like a canvas. The material that's inside is a canvas. I would describe it almost as like a cloth. And then of course with the back zipper, I'm sorry, with this back pocket here, it has a zipper and it is gold, so you can kind of close it, do like this, do like that. And so those are the specs of the bag. So like I had mentioned, sorry, I got hair in my eye. I have mentioned to you all in my luxury haul that this bag is heavy, so I'm already out of breath kind of twisting it around, but just one more time. So again, this is what it looks like. Reverse on this side, classic on this side, reverse on the back side. It does not have feet, so this is what the bottom of the bag looks like, and you can see that these line up. And so if you are shopping for this pre-love, that is something to look for the authentication. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's pretty standard. Whew. Alrighty. Like I said, that bag is heavy, so I did have to put it down, but that's pretty much all of the specs. It's a very good made bag. I feel like Louis Vuitton has some of the best craftsmanship. Now, they do have little quality issues here and there, but in my experience, my longest had bags, like the bags that I've had the longest, are Louis Vuitton. And typically for me, everything that they make is well made. I will say that I have been shopping for a tote probably since the fall of 2020, and I did not make this purchase until the spring of 2021, so this past March. I went through a couple of things, but just finishing up on the specs of this bag, just so that you guys know, I'm going to kind of read some of the things off to you so that I don't forget anything, and then all of this information I'm going to put in the text in the description box. So the detailed features of this bag, it is 16 by 13 by 7 in terms of the depth, and then it has the 2 leather shoulder straps that I showed you. Is a 28 centimeter drop. I hate it when they do stuff in centimeters, because who measures stuff in centimeters? Like, that's really stupid. But I'll convert it and put the inches in the description box. And right now this bag is retailing for, oh, did they have a price increase? Oh Lord. The bag is retailing for $2,930. Okay, you know, all right, I guess Louis Vuitton. It, like I said before, it does come in the GM, and then it also comes in an MM. I have the GM size. The MM, I want to say, I don't know when that was released, but I never really came across it. I'm like, if we gonna do a tote, we gonna do a big tote. Like, I'm not feeling that MM stuff. Like, I want to be able to like fit everything into it. MM, I have the GM size. The MM, I want to say, I don't know when that was released, but I never really came across it. I'm like, if we gonna do a tote, we gonna do a big tote. Like, I'm not feeling that MM stuff. Like, I want to be able to like fit everything into it. So with all of that being said, part of the reason why, with all of that being said, I did not get this bag retail. Part of the reason as to why I chose to get it on the pre-love market or the consignment market was because of one little detail, and this is going to go into my Libra spidey senses, and I don't care, okay? They released the bag originally in 2019, and it is the style that I just showed you. They, somewhere up in here between then and now, they've redone the bag, and the bag presently that's in the store has the leather straps that you could sit on your shoulder, but with those leather straps, they're black. Like, they're black. It's a black leather. I'm gonna pop a picture up on the screen so that y'all can see. And I just feel like that's so odd for this bag. Now, the On The Go tote does come in the imprint leather, which is kind of like, almost think of it, I would say, like an embossing, where they kind of press the monogram into the leather. Of course, that comes in black, so that makes sense for that to have black straps, but for whatever reason, I don't really know why, they made the decision to put black straps on this bag. And so when I was going in to make the decision to buy it, I was just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling the black straps. So I hunted down like one of the, I'm not gonna say that this is like the original, because I'm sure this could have been made at any point, but I wanted the old style with the monogramming on the strap, because I just feel like that looks just a little bit better. The black just looks a little odd. So with that being said, this bag was actually not on my radar at all. I have quite a bit of Louis Vuitton, to be honest. That was probably one of my first ever, Louis Vuitton was my first ever designer bag. I remember getting like the Speedy 25 as a teenager, and then I also have the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the classic monogram. And with that being said, a part of me sometimes goes through this little thing where I'm like, I want to kind of switch it up, go to different brands, but there is a specific reason as to why I chose this tote. So kind of going through some of the other things that I considered, the first tote that is kind of in the same line of things is the Dior book tote. And I actually was heavily considering this bag. Last winter I went home to Chicago and I went to a couple of stores, and there is a Dior store that I believe is up on North Michigan, but I don't think it's Oak Street. I can't remember, so don't quote me on that, but there is a Dior store. It's a huge, beautiful store in Chicago. And for those that don't know, we're gonna put a little pause here. Chicago has some of the best shopping ever, especially luxury shopping. With that being said, I went and I was looking at the Dior book tote. You know, of course it was trending last winter. I'm curious to see if it'll carry the same on and on, because we've been in a little bit of a spot where the mini bag thing has been taken over, and so a lot of people haven't really been doing tote bags. So I think that the Dior book tote definitely was the first to break us in this category. With that being said, we all know that the book tote comes in a ton of different combinations, or it was starting to come in a ton of different combinations, because originally they released it in the oblique, of course, but they did a navy blue and then they did a burgundy, which is signature for Dior. At the time, I was choosing between the burgundy, but they had also come out with this gray color, and I will insert a little bit of videos of myself shopping, and this was back in December. So I was looking at the gray because I felt like the gray was more neutral. For whatever reason, I really didn't want to do the blue, and then I felt like the burgundy would be too seasonal. For me, I just kind of felt like burgundy is not a color that I'm going to wear year round. I wear it in the winter, but specifically I was shopping for a tote for travel. Like I had mentioned, I went home to Chicago, and then that's when I realized like the only tote that I owned at the time was the Neverfull. So I was doing road trips, of course, you know, because of the state of the world. I'm not doing like anything international or bouncing across the country, but I was hoping that this year I would be doing a little bit of travel. So that is what prompted me to go on this whole little tote journey anyway. And then also going back into the office, like I mentioned all the time, I am in school, so I'm like, if I have to cross between and do schoolwork and then also go to work, I'm like, you know, I would like to have a tote for those instances. So with all of that being said, like I said, they released the burgundy and then they released the blue. You all know since then they've come out with a ton of different other combinations, but I had put it to myself that I was going to stick to like the classic oblique print, and I was considering getting the gray. So that's the specs about the Dior book tote. Hold on, let me see. I'm not for certain what the prices were during the time that I was shopping, but right now the tote is going for $3,250. The book totes are in the larger size, because it looks like they have a small size, but again, like we just said, if I'm gonna do a tote, she's gonna do a big tote. So I really enjoyed that bag. When I was shopping for it, you know, it's just pretty much an open bag. It is a full canvas, and so it's like an embroidering, and so pretty much there's no lining on the inside. It's just straight tote. Like you could just tell that they kind of sewed it. They kind of sew it down, sew it across, sew it up. Like that's how they do it. The handles were pretty sturdy. All of the handles, I would say, in all of the totes that we're going to talk about have the same drop. So it was, you know, pretty standard. You could buy an organizer to put inside of it. That bag, the Dior book tote, is lighter in terms of weight to me than the On The Go tote, because the On The Go tote, this is in leather. It's like a canvas material, but which is what makes it so much heavier. But with the book tote, like I said, it's a fabric, it's not a leather. Now, a concern that I had, a couple of things. Number one, like I mentioned, I was looking for it in the gray. With the gray, again, it has no like lining for real, so my concern was, God forbid, if I were to spill anything on it, brush up against something. It's a fabric, not a leather. So I know how to clean leather, but I'm like, how would you necessarily get a stain out of a fabric bag, you know. And you all know, when you purchase something designer and then you take it to the store to get it repaired, it takes forever. Like, it can take from 8 to 12 weeks, sometimes more than that. So you're kind of in a position where you really don't want to have to give your bag back to them. You really want to be able to maintain the things at home. So those are the specs about the Dior book tote. The Dior book tote, and when I was shopping for that. Now, another tote that I considered as well, I'm actually going to pull it up, was at the time moving myself into this year. I would say moving myself into this year, maybe close to when I purchased this bag. And I am going to apologize because I don't have any videos or anything of me shopping for this bag. But the second tote is the Fendi Sunshine. Now, this is something I don't really know when they released this. I want to say that this was something maybe more so recent, or I just started paying attention to it. Fendi is not a fashion house that I really am ever interested in, just to be honest. I have like a vintage Fendi bag, and I think that that's really it. And I think I have like a couple of other pieces from them, but they never strike me or kind of pull me in. Fendi kind of gives us logo, like that's all that I think is that Zucca print, and I'm not really, I don't know, it's like I can wear a Louis Vuitton monogram, but with certain brands I just cannot wear their logos all over me. It's just something about it. But anyway, so the tote that we're looking at is the Fendi Sunshine tote. Same thing, literally the same style. It has the Fendi embossed in the leather across the front. It says Fendi Roma. This bag, I will say, has the most supple leather ever. The leather is so amazing. It's so soft, and you can tell that it's really well made. The only thing is that the handles of the bag are acrylic, and then it has like a little gold, I don't even know what you would call it, but like the way it's clipped to the bag is gold. So I enjoy the thought of an acrylic handle. That was one of the selling points of that bag, because I'm like, it comes in the white, and then it comes in the cognac, and I'm sure it comes in a host of different other colors, but I was looking at the cognac, and I'm like, the advantage of it is it's like if I get makeup on my hand, or you know how we're putting hand sanitizer on our hand, I won't have to worry about staining the leather, if that makes sense, or affecting the leather at all. But again, this is a tote. Because it's genuine leather, it has a little bit of weight to it. And I do believe that weight on a bag itself is important, because of course we're shopping for totes. And so the thought process is that you're going to put a whole bunch of items in the tote, whether you're going to work, you're traveling, you know, if you fly private, if you fly commercial, it just may be different. But I know if you're flying regular, like the regular people, you are loading your stuff up in your bag, and you just don't really want to have a super heavy bag on its own. That's my biggest thing, because once you load it up, it can be uncomfortable. So those are the specs about the Fendi bag. Like I said, I'm going to put all of the dimensions and things below, but all of these are about the same size. With that being said, the Fendi is $3,100. So the Dior, everything is about $3,000. So they come in different sizes. The one specifically though that I'm talking about is the large Fendi tote. Now I'm really feeling this bag, I can't lie. I'm really feeling it. And a big portion of me is kind of considering getting this bag, but we'll talk about that in the end. So we're going to keep going. Last but not least is the Saint Laurent Rive Gauche tote. I think that that's how you say that. This bag is going to be the least expensive of all in the category. It does have a bit of a variation. Reason being is because it's just, this is like a canvas. Let me just look. This is going to vary just a little bit from the other bags, because the handle, the drop of the handle is longer, I know for sure, than any of the other bags that we've discussed. Yeah, because it's 7 inches. And this is a, looking at the details of it, it does say polyester. Now the book tote and the Fendi Sunshine, I didn't check, I can't really remember for the Fendi Sunshine, but I don't believe that it has a pocket in the inside. So the Dior book tote and the Fendi don't have a pocket. I believe the Dior may have a pocket. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think that they have pockets. But the Saint Laurent bag does have a pocket. The only thing is that it's like a canvas material. It's like a polyester. And the only way that I can describe the Rive Gauche is it's a vacation tote. That's the only way that I can describe it. If you're going to the beach, it's like something about the material almost gives me like a very finely milled wicker, and that's how it feels. And so that was the deciding point for that, because I'm like, I love this, but this is giving me vacation. Like, I can take that to the beach, and that's the vibe that I was getting. The other thing is that while the Rive Gauche is cheaper, it is about $1,200. Number one, I don't think it's going to hold its resale. That's one. I don't think that it's going to have a good resale value. And then the other thing is that it goes on sale a lot. And my concern was, do I just kind of wait around and watch the sales and just hope and pray and hold on to the code of Jesus to get this bag possibly on sale? Because I did notice last summer that Farfetch and Essence and some of the other sites had put that bag on sale. And then even right now, I just looked, Poshmark has it, somebody's up there selling it for $800. So imagine if you buy it for 12 and then you can only sell it for 8, and other retailers are putting it on sale for 6 or 7. So that's something that I feel like I will get eventually, like I said, because it gives me vacation. It's something about the texture of the bag that I'm like, I would not wear this every day. It does, like I said before, it does have a pocket on the inside, but it's the same thing. It's not lined on the inside. It's just like the tote. It's like, you know, the inside of the bag pretty much mirrors the outside of the bag. And lining can be important, like I said, for those little spills and things like that. You just want to make sure that you are paying attention to those things, because things can bleed out. And then imagine if something happens on the inside of the bag, now it can be reflected on the outside of the bag, which can be a bit troublesome, just depending on how you are. Like we mentioned before, if you're using this tote kind of in an everyday sense, a worldly sense, you know, you're taking it on planes, you're road tripping, you're doing all of this moving, weekend trips, you kind of want to make sure that it can stand the test of times. I would hate to buy something and, you know, it looks worn out or raggedy after a couple of uses. Now that we've kind of established all of the totes, so we have the Louis Vuitton OnTheGo tote, the Dior book tote, the Fendi Sunshine, and then the Saint Laurent Rive Gauche. Now, out of all of those bags, it's not a secret which bag I chose, and here's why. With the Louis Vuitton OnTheGo tote, a part of the selling point was the handles on the shoulder. Now, we all know, again, we're putting things into these bags, and they all have this sort of handle. So this handle is the type that you're going to put in the crook of your arm, which is great, or you're going to carry it like this, which gives you the option to carry it like a tote. I love that. I feel like that kind of modernizes what we see a lot of the time with the totes. We all know, I feel like all girls went through a never full stage, and everybody had the never full or something like it. And so this kind of gives us a mix in between the two. But like I said, with the Louis Vuitton OnTheGo, the reason why that's like a top contender for me is because of the fact that it has the shoulder strap, because when it gets heavy, all I have to do is boop, pop it on my shoulder. None of the other totes give you that option, and that was a place of concern. And that was something that I picked up on with the Dior book tote. I'm like, it ain't got no pocket inside, it ain't got no straps, Jesus. I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? So I just kind of feel like for this bag and this size, the OnTheGo tote comes in as number one. Honestly, that's just what I feel. It comes in at number one for me, which is why I purchased it. Now, do I feel like I would go in and purchase any of the other bags? Yes. If I had to select, if I had to categorize, I feel like the Louis Vuitton would come in at number one. I feel like the Fendi Sunshine would come in at number 2. The book tote would be number 3, and then the Rive Gauche, I would just you know, put them last. Part of the reason as to why I really enjoy the craftsmanship of the Fendi Sunshine Tote. That leather, my God, is so supple. It reminds me of the Chanel lambskin. So I will say that that is something that you have to be careful with, and that's another reason why I was like, yeah, no, this is not going to be that Fendi Sunshine is not going to be a bag that I'm going to be taking on the plane. Like I said, you know, everybody's coin is a little different. They have it now where you can do like a shared private jets. Like I've been seeing it all over TikTok, and so I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, if you're flying private or something, yeah, sure, you can buy that. If you think that I'm going to be putting my leather bag up underneath a plane, no ma'am. And of course you're probably thinking to yourself, but the Louis Vuitton is leather too. Yes, it is, and then it is, and then it's not, because this is a canvas leather. Canvas leather is a little bit, canvas leather is treated, and we'll go through that in another video. So it's not like genuine leather, if that makes sense. So with that being said, the Fendi Sunshine, to me, I would wear that as a purse, and if I were to get that, I would go in the size smaller. I wouldn't get it in the big GM size. I would go with like the medium, and I would just carry it as a bag, just to be honest. I feel like it would be something very nice. The medium size is still very spacious, and I want to say it's about the same price. It's not that much of a price difference. It may be about like $2,800 or $2,900 compared to the bigger one that again is $3,100. But I could definitely see myself wearing the medium size and maybe doing it in the cognac, and like I said, that would just be something that you would just have to be careful with for sure. With all of that being said, I really hope that you guys found all of this information helpful. I will be back with another video hopefully here shortly. The only thing is, like, I was supposed to record another video today, but I got a lunch date, so I'm gonna go eat, and then if I come home and feel like recording, I'll record, but we're gonna see. So just subscribe, you'll be the first to know about all of the videos when they come, and that's how we're gonna work it for right now. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye guys.